Hello everyone, we are live for round number 6 of the Blue-Emu Offline Stock Cup Series 2nd season. It's the Cheez-It 22 from Watkins, Glen. Today there is no one accompanying me in the booth, it is just me. So now let's take a look through your starting grid. On the front row we see the number 63 Logan Sport Williams Mercedes-AMG of Rich Doan, who sat on outside pole last week at Mosport. And alongside him is current Rookie of the Year leader, the number 02 Smart Motorsports Mercedes-AMG of Cody Smart. In row 2, we see debutant in the number 30 RFJ Craft Motorsports machine. It's Najika Kazami alongside Nonigan Scott. In row 3, last week's winner, the 85 of Vincent David, next to the 71 of Blake Ganaki, two Chevrolets, and Ganaki is repping some new colors this week. And then in row 4, we see Zachariah Armstrong and Renan Isip. Row 5 is the 19 of Jackson Kelsey and the 9 of Rafiq Razana. Row 6 is one of the new entries we see in the grid, Azul Cielo, making his return to full-time Blue-Emu Offline Stock Cup competition, next to Ryan Keith. In row 7 is the 95 of Bailey Pendergast and the 1 of Henry Williams. Row 8 sees Tommy Rollo and Brad Stover. Row 9 is the 91 of Blaze Aitken and the 5 of Ricky Freeman Jr. Rounding out the top 20 is Riley Wilkin alongside Chris Risted. Row 11 sees Abel DeGroat in the number 60 this week and Felix Jansen in the 13. Row 12 is Nixon DeMille and Wyatt Qualley. Row 13, the 99 of Tim Pitch and the 14 of Devin Fair. Row 14 is another one of the new entries, Rose Neal, who made her debut last week at Mosport, alongside fellow Rookie of the Year competitor Kevin Hulkenberg. Row 15 is the 45 of Ryan Llewellyn and the 3 of Patrick Starr, and row 16 is Theo Spletzer alongside John McFadden. Row 17 sees the 81 of Timothy McKenzie and the 20 of Kersey Spletzer. Then it's Tari Lowell and Evan Hunter making his BOSC debut. Then it's Josh King and Bradley Ream, Noah Clifton and Cody Goforth making his return. Then it's followed by Derek Hamill, Brian Scott Jr. also making his BOSC return, and Derek Hamill rounds out the field. So we are getting ready to get racing. Only 9 laps here around Watkins Glen, but it has proven to be a tough track to get around without getting involved in an incident. It looks like that all 42 cars are going to be set to go racing. A few new entries on the grid, a few new paint schemes on the grid, but we are getting ready to go racing. They round their way around the final corner. Chevrolet Camaro pace car ducks down pit road. We are getting ready to go racing here. So they come onto the front straightaway, down to the start finish line, and the green flag is out here for Watkins. George Gussel's going to get the good start, but here comes Najika Kazami down the inside with help from Vincent David. She's going to try to take the lead here as we look. And heading into the S's, it is Kazami to the race lead in the number 30. As we look down the grid here, looks like everyone has mostly made it through cleanly. As Timothy McKenzie's reaches important spots here after start. Cody Goforth already dropped back to last. This Savage Racing team has really struggled here so far on the road courses, as Rose Neal piloted the car last week to a near dead last finish. We're going to look back up the grid. A lot of racing here as they head around the Banks turn. And Cody Smart is really dropping back. Look at that, the 02. Is getting swarmed by Nonigan Scott and Zachariah Armstrong. In fact, both pole-sitting cars, the 63 of Rich Doan as well, have both really fallen back as Najika Kazami leads back to Vincent David, who won last weekend at Mosport. Kazami will lead her first ever lap of Blue-Emu Offline Stock competition, but she'll have a veteran and, like I've already said, a road course ringer behind her. So we look through as the cars head through the first corner. This has been a trouble spot as multiple incidents have occurred here so far throughout the tests, but it looks like that everyone's going to make it through cleanly. Brian Scott Jr., one of the drivers I'd like to highlight, making his BOSC return after starting the Daytona 50, but then losing his raw car racing drive. He comes back with Smart Motorsports as a stand-in for Rich Doan, and there's been an incident. Oh, Tommy Rollo, hard hit. Tommy Rollo up and over. Theo Splitzer also involved. Huge crash here on the back straightaway. Another huge incident, as it looked like Tommy Rollo got the worst of it. So let's see what happened. No cautions here on the road courses. Gets hooked by Ryan Keith into the wall. And then comes up the track. Everyone mostly avoids it. And Kevin Hulkenberg. Oh my. That wreck looked a lot like Jake Rose's crash at Phoenix. As we also saw Theo Splitzer take a roll. As Rollo was just heavy hit. We're gonna watch Tommy Rollo again, but in slow motion. Yeah, hard hits. He got hit once by Goforth and then again by Reen. As you can see, King, Goforth, Lowell, Hulkenberg, Splitzer, Brian Scott Jr., Timothy McKenzie. Just a ton of guys caught up in this one. Let's hope that Tommy Rollo and Theo Splitzer are okay. Both, along with Kevin Hulkenberg, all took massive hits. But like we said, no cautions here on the road courses. The race goes on, and it is still Nikita Kazami out front. We look down the grid as they head to the final corner. John McFadden and Nixon DeMille coming down. Is currently the points leader, but he has just not been having a good time so far. He's going 3 wide here with Noah Clifton. This could be interesting. Oh, contact! McFadden and Chrissy Splitzer. 2 Canadians involved in an incident, and that's likely going to put an end to both of their days. Both cars ending in the tire barriers here at turn 1. That is an unfortunate finish for both of them as Josh King goes by there. Tari Lowell coming off of pit road as Timothy McKenzie comes on. And we look back to the front as all the actions has been in the back. And the top 3 remains unchanged. Kazami, Baxter, David, and Russell. We look down the grid. 2 incidents have happened so far as these guys are still racing aggressively. You see that's Tim Pitch and Chris First, the 2 Rookie of the Year candidates, along with April DeGroat, Noah Clifton, and Nixon DeMille also back here as they're going to go more 3 wide. DeMille wisely backing out of Clifton trying to hang it around the outside. That's not going to work as Devin Fair and Patrick starting right there. He sees a few cars still on pit road. I do feel like that these lap cars like Lowell, McFadden, and Chrissy Splitzer here are going to could become an issue here for these leaders in defenses on Vincent David and George Russell, as they're probably going to catch him. They're going to look through the grid again. There's not much else to report since those first 2 incidents, but as the field heads down through the final section, Vincent David is trying to close down and has closed down on Nikita Kazami, but Kazami is not letting him through. As they head through the final few corners, both McFadden and Splitzer make it to pit road, but there is still the question of that 44 of Tari Lowell. New paint scheme, the hood is off on that car. How will she play into this race? Down into braking for turn 1 and through turn 1. It is still Nikita Kazami out front. As most of the incidents so far have happened here toward the rear, but everyone's going single file, perhaps wisely after the 2 quick incidents, as heading down into the back straight chicane. And we're going to take a quick commercial break here. We'll see you back live for the continuation of the Cheez-It 22.
For every turn, a twist. For every start, an untimely finish. For every win, someone who loses it. For every number, a nation. For every celebration, a brawl. For every split second, years of work. For every heaven, a hell. For every good old boy, a good old girl. For every curse, a prayer. For every ounce of order, a jug of chaos. For every twist, there's a turn.
We are back live here from Watkins, Glen. It is still Majida Kazami out front, but Blake Ganaki is challenging Rich Doan here for third as they head down the back. Down into braking, Vincent David has not been able to get around this 30 car as Majida Kazami is looking to take RJ Kraft's first victory on the season as Zachariah Armstrong gets by pretty smartly. Could be a Chevrolet 1-2. And what is overall looking to be a very strong showing for Chevrolet with only 3 laps to go here. Bit of racing further down the grid. This is Ryan Keith and Bailey Pendergast, and behind them Felix Jansen and Brad Stover. The field really beginning to space out after the first few incidents. They have not really caught the lap car of Tario Lowell as much as I thought they would. So Kazami could be good here if she can hang on ahead of Vincent David. But David is hungry right behind him, right behind her in the number 85 Discord Camaro. And Vorge Gussel, I think, would be also trying if he can close that gap. As David all over the back of her. Coming to 2 laps to go. If Vincent David's going to make a move, it's going to need to be now. There's a field all single file as they head over the hill and pass the start-finish line. It is Kazami out front, followed by David and Gussel. The field heading through the first corner. We're all clear. David, right on the back of Kazami, can he make a move? Can see Lowell barely in the shot there. As they head through the bus stop, Gussel is Gussel has now joined the party as Armstrong maybe is looking to make a move on Ganaki as David really closing up on the 30 car. He could maybe try a move here into this next corner in braking. Oh, it looked like there may have been a bit of contact there between the 85 and the 63. As the 63 now also in on this party. Vincent David looking for a place to make a move. White flag in the air here from Watkins Glen. As they head into the braking zone for turn 1, this is going to be David's chance to make a move. He stays tucked in line as Vorge Gussel also stays tucked in line. No one making any moves. Can Nijika Kazami pick up a win in her first BOSC start? Heading through the S's. David too far back. David's only going to have about 1 or 2 more opportunities here. Around Watkins Glen, the next one is down into the braking for the bus stop. There is Lowell. I don't think they'll catch him. Gussel making a move on David. Doesn't quite work. Exiting the bus stop. Does David have enough time? Nijika Kazami with the race lead, heading into one of the final turns. Vincent David, I think, is too far back. Heading through the final corner, Vincent David's not going to be able to make a move. Off the final corner, Najika Kazami is going to win her first BOSC start. What a day for that 30 team. New driver, new sponsor, and they go out and win their first attempt. Vincent David, a valiant effort to come second. George Gussel third. Blake Inaki, another RFJ Craft driver, finishes fourth. Then Armstrong, Smart, Rizana, Cielo, Isip, and Henry Williams round out the top 10. As we wait for the remaining finishers, it is going to be Najika Kazami picking up the race win. Then looking through the top half of your grid, she's followed by Vincent David, George Gussel, Blake Inaki, Zachariah Armstrong, Cody Smart, Rafiq Rizana, Azul Cielo, Renan Nisip, Henry Williams, Nonigan Scott, Jackson Kelsey, Riley Wilkin, Ricky Finn Jr., Ryan Keith, Bailey Pendergast, Wyatt Qualley, Brad Stover, Felix Jansen, Rose Neal, and Ryan Llewellyn, your top 21. So we will see you next weekend for the final leg of the BOSC Road Course Swing at Daytona Beach. Until then, this has been Ash Jacobson, and you're watching the BOSC.